Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
Hey, it's Funk Roberts here, and welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode number 90, and if you don't know who I am, my name is Funk Roberts. I'm a former professional athlete turned online fitness expert and coach. I'm a master metabolic trainer. I've written best-selling books. I've been on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox as a fitness expert. And I'm also truly known around the world as the guy who helps men in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s get in the best shape of their lives, transform their lives through workouts, through nutrition, through recovery, through sleep, mindset, to naturally increasing your testosterone levels. So balancing hormones, supplementation, and also becoming the man that we're supposed to be. We're here on this earth to provide, to protect, and to procreate. Now, a lot of us who are listening to this have probably already gone to the procreation side, but are you providing for your family and yourself? Are you protecting your family for yourself? And I mean protecting in the sense that you're in the best health that you can be. You're in the best wealth that you have and that's available to you. And so that's what this podcast is all about. It's for men to regain their manhood, and it all starts with yourself through your health. And so this episode is truly the biggest, probably the biggest barrier and hurdle all men in their 40s have, in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who don't know, right? I have 14,000 men, because that's how many guys are in my Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood Workout Nutrition Program community brotherhood. As you can see, if you're not on the video right now, I'm flashing my Over 40 Alpha, my Over 40 Brotherhood tattoo, which is us as a collective. Not only are we helping ourselves, we're helping other brothers. And now on my left side, I'm holding up my Over 40 Alpha because that's who I am. That's who I represent. Those are values I have. And those values start with taking care of myself and ensuring that I'm in the best shape of my life, because I wasn't always in the best shape of my life. You can look at episode, I don't know what episode that was, episode number 87, when I talk about how I got to where I am, how I went from deathbed to where I am today. So I'm excited about today because one of the things that we do all the time in the Brotherhood is that we have live coaching calls every single Sunday, 10 a.m. That's why you need to join it. If you don't have a program right now and you're listening to this and you're just kind of going through life, like without any guidance, you're trying to do it on your own. You look down and you can't even see your penis because your stomach's in the way. You know, if you're still hanging on to what you look like back in the past, that's who you're not. If you're masking your manhood, if you don't have a relationship with your kids or your wife, or you have a broken relationship, if you aren't happy with every day you're waking up, with bad back, bad elbows, shoulders, knees, if you have no drive or no confidence, if you don't see a future for you in regards to health, if you have health issues, pre-diabetic, diabetic, heart disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol, man, you better join that over40alpha.com right now. Right now. Because I'm giving you a branch to change your life, like these 14,000 men have done and will continue to do. While you're being left behind, there are men stepping up and reinventing themselves. And that's what you need to do. And so because every Sunday at 10 a.m., we have a live coaching call. So this is not just a program where you go, oh, buy my program and I'll see you later. I'm here for you. We last coaching call talked about the 10 commandments of nutrition for men over 40, right? Or late 30s, whatever. But nutrition is key. Because that is the key to your health. That is the key to your you losing weight, losing the belly fat, losing all of those things that are keeping you from being the man you need to be. Workouts, sure, you got to do the workouts. You got to do the recovery. You got to get the mind right, but it's It's the nutrition that most people have a hurdle, and you jump on all of these. Oh, I'm doing this diet and this keto and paleo and one meal a day, and all of these, carnivore and all this foolishness. Where 2 months, 3 months down the road, I come back to you and ask you how that's going. Oh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Sustainability. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about the 10 commandments, the 10 rules, and it's going to be very, very clear to you what you need to do. There are going to be steps that you should be taking. I give it to you. If you go to over40alpha.com, I do actually give you everything you need, plus the coaching and the guidance. But there's a lot of guys who, I don't know much about funk still. Let me just hear what he has to say. And that's why we're doing this. That's why I like to share the nuggets of our coaching call with you on our podcast. So we are going to talk about the 10 commandments, because you can't outtrain a bad diet. It doesn't matter how many workouts you do. It doesn't matter how many finishers, or how long you're on the cardio machine. Well, we're going to even talk about that in another 10 commandments. We're going to do 10 commandments of workouts. But it's nutrition. You want to get rid of belly fat, nutrition. If you want to build muscle, nutrition. If you want to naturally increase your testosterone levels, nutrition. If you want to decrease inflammation, nutrition. If you want to reverse your diabetes or pre-diabetes, nutrition. If you want to run faster, nutrition. If you want to have better sex with your wife, nutrition. If you want to wake up with confidence and energy, nutrition. If you want to have a six-pack abs, nutrition. I mean, if you want to get rid of the depression that you are suffering from every day, you feel like there's no tomorrow that's going to be happy and of light, nutrition, period. End of story. Don't let anyone else tell you any different. Don't let all these people come in on, oh, abs aren't really made in the kitchen. Bullshit. Abs are made in the kitchen. Man, your manhood is sculpted in the kitchen. You do need the pillars, but don't fall for all that other bullshit marketing, feminization, estrogenetic, I'm doing vegan, I'm doing vegetarian. Bullshit. You're not feeding your hormones what they need. But guess what? You're going to learn. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. Stop listening to all that bullshit, because that's all it is. Every single time someone comes to me and they're coming with all these stupid diet fads and restrictive diets, and this person's on this and it worked for them, and this woman did this and it worked for them. Nah, man, listen up and listen to this podcast, because I'll tell you right now, I'm on a lot of other people's podcasts who talk about testosterone, talk about manhood. And whenever I preach this, it's always 100%. You're absolutely right. So listen up to this podcast. You're going to get right into this coaching call. It's the 10 commandments. It is a coaching call. So just know that if you're listening to this, it is part of a coaching call that I usually have, but I like to bring this to you. But I want to be clear. I'm not a bullshitter. It takes work, but if you have the tools, you want a sustainable plan. You want something that is going to last you for the rest of your life. You want to learn why you eat foods and why you stay away from foods. You want to learn what goes into, if you eat this is what's going to happen to your body. So if you were like right now, after this little rant, you go, oh, Funk, I'm in, because I tried keto and it didn't work. I tried paleo, it didn't work. I tried becoming a vegan and I'm still kind of doing the vegan thing, but I have no energy. I'm still skinny fat. I can't build muscle. I'm getting sick all the time. All of this bullshit that happens to men that we're getting fed, that, oh, this is the one. And it's not. It's actually extremely simple to follow. No calorie counting, no weighing foods, pure feeding your body, fueling your body what it needs. Okay. And I always say manhood, because that's what it comes down to. Your hormones, your testosterone, your metabolism, keeping insulin at bay, right? Feeding the body what it needs. So listen up, guys. No more bullshit. Don't hide behind that bullshit, that nutrition bullshit, that feminization, that estrogenetic stuff. Don't hide behind that. Step up, do the work like 14,000 men in my over 40 alpha program does. And for $1, I'm going to give you 30 days for $1. So you know what? Why don't you test me? Test if it works. You do the work, I'll give you the tools. I guarantee it will work for $1. And if not, listen to this podcast, then go to over40alpha.com for $1, and we'll see you on the other side. Enjoy the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about nutrition. I'm actually going to do this whole 10 commandments, 10 rules of, nutrition, and then one for workouts, one for mindset, just kind of like the things that we should be thinking about when we are, specifically as we get older, right? Because I've always said that, for some, it's going to be like hearing it all over again. But yeah, our margin for error is very, very short, very small, and we can't treat ourselves and our bodies like it was when we were younger. You know what I mean? Like we can still be, as I always say, we can still be in the best shape of our lives, the best health of our lives, but we just can't, we got to really treat our bodies like a, temple, like you hear, but it's truly that everything that goes in, everything you put in your mouth, you have to have that mindfulness when you're eating things, knowing what it's going to lead to afterward, right? Like, and owning it. Like if you're going to eat something that's going to cause inflammation, and that if you eat this thing, it's going to cause inflammation, then you got to own that tomorrow morning when you're trying to do a workout and you're tight, or you even get injured, or, you know what I mean? Like, or if you eat something that's causing hormonal imbalance or what have you, you have to own that because, but it also leads, you also have to have the knowledge. You have to know. And that's the most important thing, because when you know about the foods you should be eating, the foods you shouldn't be eating, the type of behaviors to help, get you in the right, you set yourself up for success when it comes to nutrition, the water that you should be drinking exactly, downing exactly, all of those things, man, it only makes us a lot healthier, sharper, more energy, able to deal with things going around us, feeling good about ourselves, confidence, all of that stuff. That's just what it is for the rest of our lives. That's how I think we should be treating our bodies, like it's a temple. Yes, of course you can indulge. Like last week I had, nice big mac and cheese, but I also knew that, what that entailed for the next day. I knew that I was going to be a little bit bloated. And I really wasn't that much though, but I had a strategy behind that, right? I fasted the next day. So having strategies around your guilt-free meals and you know what I mean? Like that's all power. Like you're not doing things out of like habits, right? Or, you smell something cooking and, or you're watching TV and something comes up and the next thing you know, you have a bag of chips in your hand. Yes, thoughts are going to come through your head that you cannot escape. And we're not trying to not think about those things, but how do we react, right? How are we reacting to that stuff? And reacting means that we have some sort of knowledge as to, okay, that's just normal. Like I'm watching TV and watching something that I used to eat all the time and I'm getting a little bit of cravings. That's normal, but I don't have to go call Uber Eats or what have you and order it. So, and then, it's just when we start living like that, it becomes a habit, right? Just now and then it starts to slowly become a habit. And then, of course, a lifestyle, because that's what I'm trying to create is a lifestyle where it doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter where you travel to, doesn't matter what you're doing, the basic commandments or rules that will help you stay healthy during that, just whatever it is, if it's a wedding or if it's a party or even if it's at work. So, this is good. A lot of guys are coming on. So today we are going to dive into the 10 commandments or 10 nutritional commandments, tips, whatever you want to call it, for men over 40, right? Or even 30s. It doesn't matter. Like 30s, 40s, 50s. At this point, what's going on with our hormones is starting much earlier than it did, way back in the 20 years ago. 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds and guys in their early 30s are suffering from low testosterone. And what I'm talking about here is not just about about increasing your testosterone levels naturally when I'm talking about the nutritional commandments or the nutritional rules, but it's also about losing weight. It's also about burning fat. It's also about metabolism. That's a big thing. Our metabolic health and our metabolic rate slows down as we get older. That's more to do with our lifestyle, but that accelerates the older we get. Hormonal balance, for energy, for health, for mindset, for just a healthier mind, right? When you're putting shitty foods into your body all the time, it just clouds your mind and clouds your mental health, and things will bother you more and irritate you more because you feel like you feel horrible, right? And although you may be feeding yourself because you want that instant gratification, and at that time it feels good, as time goes on, your body, your mind, everything just doesn't feel good. And again, as we get older, it sticks with us longer, as opposed to when we're younger and we could just shrug it off and, next day go to work or do what have you. So start thinking about these. And for those of you who've been in this program for a while, this is just a really good reminder as to, the things we should be continuously focusing on. Because I've been doing this for how many years, and I still, when I read these things and I still hear these things, it's always good to drill, as a I think drilling is important, right? To keep drilling, 10,000, know one thing, do one thing 10,000 times and, 100 things once, or, you know what I mean? Or do one thing 10,000 times and 100 different things if you really want to master it. And we want to master this. So we just have to keep feeding the mind and telling our bodies and our minds, just these are the things that we got to stay away from or just look at. So let's start off with, so what I'm about to go through is the 10, nutrition commandments or rules for nutrition for men over 40. This is nutrition. So let's start off with rule number 1. It's going to be stay away from feminizing diets. Stay away from diets. Okay. Stay away from diets. So that will include feminizing diets that are mostly geared towards women, but kill our hormones, right? Increase estrogen, which kills our testosterone. And, it's just more towards women, that quick fix, that quick fat loss. Marketing is very, 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 very good. And women buy most of the fitness stuff out there. That's what women, if you want to make money in fitness, you hit women because they are the ones that will consume it more than men. So feminizing diet, fad diets, right? We hear all the fad diets. If you listen to Joe Rogan, I'm gonna premise this by telling you guys, I love Joe Rogan. Met him, love him. I work for the UFC, so I love Joe. He's amazing. But Joe is the extreme. Okay, he is the extreme. Okay, he does TRT. He does everything. Like, he is extreme with everything he does. So if Joe Rogan says that he's doing this diet and that diet, that doesn't mean you automatically go to do that diet because it's going to be great. It's just he's very extreme at everything he does. The workouts he does, the dieting he does. Obviously, he does a lot of, hormone therapy, and he's been doing it for many, many years. So although the people Joe has on are great, just if you, Joe Rogan does it, well, yeah, well, Joe Rogan has a gajillion dollars, millions of dollars, so he can do anything he wants. So just try not to jump. I mean, I love Joe and I listen to him all the time. I'm just saying, like, a lot of times, like, my neighbor came up to me and said, "Oh yeah, well, Joe Rogan was talking about this carnivore diet." I'm like, dude, don't even listen, man. And 3 months from now, Joe's going to be talking about some other diet. So fad diets, the ones that you are hearing that pop up here and there, you see these guys come on and they're jacked and they're ripped and they're going to tell you that they just did this diet forever and that's what got them there. Don't believe the hype. Or yeah, maybe for that one person, but when you look at the first, maybe it worked for that one person. You also have to think about, okay, how old is that person? Then you got to think about, is that person doing hormone therapy? Because if they are, then they could probably get away with a whole bunch of shit, right? It doesn't mean it's going to be healthy for us. So fad diets, stay away from restrictive diets that are restricting you from certain foods or certain things, like, don't eat this for this or don't eat that for that. Like, restrictive diets, you got to stay away from. Paleo diets. So the paleo diet is another one of those, like, On paper, it looks good, right? On paper, it's like, oh, this is how cavemen used to, you know, when we were cavemen or whatever, they used to eat and we used to hunt and we had the energy and all of this stuff. And on paper, it may look good, but for our metabolism, because that's a very low carb type of diet, right? And that's not good for us. We need the carbs, right? We need those carbs. And I'll explain that in one of the other meals. So keto diet, right? That's another thing. And both the paleo and the keto diets would be under a fad diet, as far as I'm concerned, because everyone I know that's been on a keto diet literally says, oh yeah, I lost weight, I was feeling pretty good, but then I couldn't keep up with it. Very difficult when things are restrictive. It's not sustainable. Number two, oh yeah, but then I just gained all the weight back. In fact, I gained more of that weight, or I gained it in certain different ways, or you know, I gained it in different areas that I didn't even think I had problems in those areas, right? So again, very short term diet. But again, the keto diet is not good for us because it eliminates one of our most important macronutrients. Macronutrients being proteins, carbs, and fats. Okay. So keto, no good. And again, not saying it doesn't work for some people, like paleo may work for the 20-year-old guy or 25-year-old guy, or keto. A lot of women like to use keto. And again, you know, it's the sustainability of it. And are you truly in keto? Like there's so much that goes on. I'm not, you know, and again, I'm not hating on these. I'm just saying for us, we need to think differently. Okay. These things aren't geared towards, and they don't talk to, oh, keto diets for men over 40. Well, you probably will never see that. And if you do, you better be very skeptical, because we need certain macronutrients that keto will not provide us. Low carb diets. So again, that's a fad diet. Low fat diets, carnivore diets that I talked about. You know, plant-based vegan diets or vegetarian diets. That's very, they do cause our hormones to be out of whack. But I will say this, I am working on a plant-based nutrition system, because there are when I'm saying plant-based, I'm saying plant-based vegan and vegetarian, because a lot of times there's a lot of processed foods in there. There's a lot of fake foods in there. There's a lot of things that they try to mimic the taste or the feel or the texture of the real macros, not really real foods. So again, on paper, and when you first start doing a plant-based vegan or vegetarian, of course you're going to feel better. 100% you're going to feel better, because you go from eating crappy, having a horrible lifestyle, not feeling good, to literally all the way to Z, nowhere in between. But that's not a sustainable diet for us, because a lot of things start to pop up. You know, a lot of health issues start to pop up. Low energy starts to pop up, and of course, you're not getting the protein sources that we need, the good quality protein sources that we need as we get older, right? Because again, we don't naturally produce protein. We need protein because it's a building blocks of our muscles, our bones, and the metabolic process that go through our body. And again, as we get older, what is our number one thing? Well, sarcopenia, natural loss of muscle. We need protein for muscle, along with all the other things I said, fat loss, etc. So we need healthy, high quality sources of protein. And it's not a sustainable thing, plant-based, vegetarian, and vegan. But I am working on a plant-based, because you can eat plant-based, which just means more of your foods are plant-based and still get protein from meat sources and carbs. So you can. I'm literally right now doing all the back end research and talking to a dietitian, but there is a plant, because I didn't really understand plant-based until I really understood it, which is why. So for those of you who are vegan or vegetarian because of religious stuff, faith, or what have you, you know, I am putting something together that, you know, because in the past I've just been like, no, but I do need to expand my mind and expand the things that I learned. And I want to also be able to help other guys. I always premise by asking, why are you a vegan or vegetarian? But I do want to let you know that I am going to be launching probably in January, but it will be a plant-based type of nutrition plan that does still help us with our testosterone, with fat loss, with our metabolism, etc. So I'm always trying to evolve as well. So so again, the whole purpose of number one is just to tell you fad diets, right? Who knows what's going to be down the corner? And believe me, I've done many of these diets. I've done the Atkins, the low carb, the low fat, the freaking, I didn't do keto, but I've done a lot of these diets when I thought I was having problems losing weight, and none of them worked. In fact, they worked for a little bit and then I just blow up again. So they cause a slowdown in our metabolism. They increase things like estrogen and cortisol, and they kill our thyroid, right? Our thyroid is responsible for our metabolism, right? Our thyroid hormone is what is highly responsible for that metabolism that we need. So we got to feed our foods. We got to feed our body that. And then most importantly, it's about sustainability, something that we can eat for the rest of our lives, a way of eating for the rest of our lives, not just here and there. And I'm going to try this one, and I'm not going to try this. I'm going to try that. We can, try specific versions like fasting over, like my fasting over 40 or a fasting protocol that we can use. Like, you don't have to be this balanced. You can incorporate certain things for certain reasons. Like, hey, I want to accelerate a little fat loss, for this month. So I may do some fasting. That's, again, fasting is also not a very good long-term nutrition plan, because again, fasting is about losing fat. Okay, that's what fasting is. It's not about, well, this is something I can do because I'll be able to do this for the rest of my life and still build muscle and still do it. It's not a type of, a lot of people will use that, oh, fasting I can do for the rest of my life. You cannot, because I did do fasting for a year and a half. And for those of you guys who are here, when I moved back to my 3 meals a day, you guys, you even see it in the workouts. My body's very flat, and it's not as like lean and muscular as it is now. It was very, very flat. And because I just wasn't getting enough calories, right? We need those calories, and fasting does not give you enough calories. It's very difficult to eat 3 meals in 8 hours. It's very difficult. And it's tough on our digestive system as we get older. But there are ways to fast and use fasting so that, like I said, like today, like for me today, I just made the decision, the hard decision. It wasn't a hard decision. It was a very easy decision to get rid of my prescription drugs, because I was taking prescription drugs for my back, Lyrica, freaking Duloxetine, and whatever it is. But what I know I'm going a little bit on a tangent, but hear me out. Prescription drugs absolutely destroy our testosterone levels. Okay, that's why we tell you, or that's why I try to tell you, do, like, obviously if the doctor puts you on a prescription for a certain reason, of course, but like if it's about cholesterol or high blood pressure or whatever, we're trying to get rid of that, right? You can see a lot of these guys in this program have said, hey, my doctor just took me off these high cholesterol pills, or these, pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic pills, or high blood, all of those things, because they kill our testosterone. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I got my testosterone checked. And I got my test back, and I will share that with you this week. But I knew that it was going to be low, because I'll just let you know it's low. I knew that it was going to be low because I've been taking these things for almost a year, maybe even a little bit more, but it's really low. So, and when the nurse called me from Let's Get Checked, she saw what I put into my, when you fill out all the information. And then she also saw my past testosterone test. So the first thing she said to me was like, are you feeling okay? Because I saw what you're taking. So this score makes sense to me. She's like, this score does make sense to me because I do see what you're taking. And I did see what your score was before, but how are you feeling? And then I explained, I feel good because I'm leading the, nutrition, exercising, all of those things. I said, I feel good. There's a few things that were starting to pop up that really started to, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I gotta get my testosterone levels checked because something's going on. But obviously it all played out. She's like, okay, that's, she goes, after you have your surgery and you get off those pills, you're 100% going to see your testosterone levels go up again, specifically if you're still living the way you're living. And I'm like, I totally understand that. But this was I wanted to do this because I knew that the prescription drugs literally will so much damage to our hormones, so much damage to our hormones. The is the juice worth the squeeze in regards to what it's going to solve? Yes. But when you become dependent on it, because I think mentally I thought, oh, this is what's keeping me at bay. And then I realized, you know what? It's not, because it's the mobility and the other thing that's helping. So I just trashed it. All to say that because I threw out because I'm not taking them anymore, I do a 1 day of fasting. Okay, I need to literally try to clear my body out of whatever it is. So today I'm doing a 24-hour fast. That's a strategic fast. I can't believe I went all the way around just to get back to fasting. But that's a strategic fast. It's something I just learned, actually, and Angela just learned, because Angela has been needing to take prescription drugs like antibiotics, for certain things, and it's things like that. It's antibiotics, it's prescription drugs, and you take them for however long you need them, and then with your doctor's approval, you can wean off, or keep asking, hey, do I still need to take these? Right? Do I really still need to take these, or whatever? Or you take them knowing that, okay, I better step up my nutrition, make sure I'm exercising, make sure I'm living that, testosterone, hormonal, healthy lifestyle, because I need to keep battling it, right? Which is what happened to me when I, a few years back when I was recovering from a near-death experience. I had to do the same thing on prednisone. But when I got this, I was like, I told Angela, I don't even know why I'm taking these, because they're not really doing anything. And so last night I stopped taking them, and today I'm doing a 24-hour fast. So there are ways you can use fasting. You can use them for a short period of time. You can use them for once in a while throughout the week, right? Like, hey, I'm going to fast today. It doesn't break anything because you're still refeeding yourself. Or you can use them strategically after your guilt-free meals. Okay. So, that was a long number one, but again, stay away from those diets that, promise the world and don't deliver, or are more for the younger crowd. All right. Next up, purge your cupboards. All right. That's number 2. Purge the cupboards. If you're just starting, or you need to do either a reset or an audit. Right? Because we should always be auditing, every 3 months or 6 months, or if you're just not feeling good, or if you're not getting any results that you were getting before, let's do a little bit of an audit on my nutrition, because you can't out-train a bad diet. Nutrition's the key here. If there's one thing I'm going to say that I forgot to say is, it doesn't matter how many workouts you do, how many burpees you do, how many finishers you do. It doesn't matter. If your nutrition is not on point, you're not going to get results. That includes building muscle. If you want to put on size, it's all about calories. It's all about nutrition. If you want to build lean muscle, you've got to feed your body the foods that are going to build that lean muscle and keep your inflammation down, and keep the hormones, growth hormone, and testosterone. Those are the muscle building hormones that we need to be feeding. So if you're trying to, Funk, I want to add 10 pounds of mass or whatever it is, right? Like I want to build, here's the workouts. Let's change up the workouts so they're not metabolic. But most importantly, it's calories. You got to add meals, still good meals, not shitty meals, but you got to add calories, because you're trying to increase mass. You're trying to put on weight. So no matter what it is, it's going to be your testosterone. It's going to be your nutrition. That's going to be make the biggest difference in anything. Okay. You even if you didn't even work out, if you just went walking for whatever, and for 15 minutes or worked out twice a week, you will still get great results if your nutrition backs that up. You'll still get amazing results. So it's the nutrition that you really have to, that's always the last thing people want to address, but it is the most important. So it should be the first thing everyone addresses, because that's the quickest fix to getting your results, is the nutrition. It's not the workouts, but of course we have to exercise. So purge your cupboards, meaning, take a look and see what's in there. If you're just starting, you want to get rid of, all the BS, right? The chips, the crackers, the cookies, the ice cream, the packaged meals, the frozen dinners, the processed foods, the vegetable oils, the sugars, get rid of the alcohol, the bread. And when I say get rid of the alcohol, it'll be for the first 30 days for sure. If you're just new, just coming in, first 30 days, we're trying to move you furthest away from the nutrition that you were eating. So keeping a couple of things in won't work. It's like doing a not a purge, but well, we are purging, but it's like doing a cleanse. I'm not a big cleanse person, but I think that's exactly what I'm doing today is actually 24-hour cleanse, water and maybe some coffee, but you're literally cleansing yourself of the old nutrition. Yes, there you go. Cleansing yourself of the old nutrition and coming to totally the opposite, but your body needs time to adjust to that opposite. It needs time. So it's not going to happen right away. Oh, Funk, I've been doing your new meal plan for one week and I feel like I'm putting on weight. Well, yeah, probably because your body's like, what the hell? Why are you giving me all this great food? Or maybe you're eating a little bit more than you should have been. And now your body's still holding on. Like you got to give your body time to adjust to the new nutrition and trust you that, hey, man, are you sure you're going to be giving me all these good foods? Because if you are, then we can start this metabolic process going through and start, getting rid of the water because you're giving us more water. We can start, putting food or transporting food to the thyroid and give that support so the metabolism kickstart. Like our bodies are very smart. It's got to trust you because how many times have you gone on a diet only to plummet again? Your body's like, okay, man, here we go again. You're just going to 2 weeks, great. And then you're just going to kill us again and make us overwork and put crap inside of us. Like, no, you got to give your body a chance to trust you. And that's why the first month you want to go and you're going to feel better for sure. 100% better, stronger, more energy. That's, usually the first thing that people start to feel is like, man, I feel a lot of energy. So get rid of all of that stuff out of your cupboards, or, obviously if you live with people, you're going to want to let them know and also let them know, hey man, like this is what I'm doing now. These are the foods that I can't eat because I'm killing myself and I need to be here for you. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I want to see my kids. My health is very important as we get older. There's so many things you can say to your significant other or your kids or whatever, that when you put I want to be here to see you. I want to be, I don't want to leave you early. Like all of those little drips and drops, if they start to really, it starts to really hit them. It starts to really hit them because remember, they've also seen you jump on all these diets, right? They've also seen that happen. Oh, yeah, you're going on another diet, hey, Dad? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. What's this one? Metatest boost. Oh, that's sexy. All right, let's see what you can do here, right? So they're not. I mean, you can't expect them to right away jump on. Oh, Dad's going on another one because this is the 50th one Dad's done, and the 50th one Dad's probably gonna fail. So you got to give your body trust, and you got to trust the people around you by just actions. I talked about this with Rob and the alcohol. Rob Raymondo, where he was just like, yeah, I mean, I just had to keep saying no. And then to a point, it was like, they don't even ask me anymore because I just say no every time. And they just realize, oh yeah, okay, Rob doesn't really drink that much. So I'm not going to really waste my time asking him. Right. Like, just what else? Do you need water? Do you need something else? Which happens to me now when I go, with my family. Well, my immediate family, we don't really drink, but like if I'm with, and I guess Angela's family doesn't drink either. So I guess we were both, but whenever we go to other friends' places, they always ask me, hey, it's so funny. They always say, oh yeah, I got some Perrier in the fridge, or they already know the type of drinks I drink. So they already have that already prepared. They're like, oh yeah, Funk, we got you like some Perrier and water and stuff. If there's anything else you need, so that's already there because of the consistency of that. And just foods in general. The only thing I don't like, and a lot of you guys probably get this now, is like, oh, you don't mind if I eat this, this unhealthy food. And like they say that to you because like they think that you're gonna say something. I'm like, I don't care what you eat. Always happens to me. Oh, well, yeah, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to eat this. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, man. That has nothing to do with me. Enjoy yourself. I am not judging you. I have to say, I'm not judging you. All right, um, let's move on to number 3. Okay, so number 3 is eat 3 meals per day. Right. So that's the next principle. That's the next rule of the commandments. We want to go to eating 3 meals a day. And again, this is, aside from any other special type of thing that you may be doing, because the goal is to keep the body burning the metabolism high. So way back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s and probably even 90s, and even I was preaching this, was got to eat 6 meals a day. We got to graze like a freaking cow. We got to graze. We got to keep the furnace going. I was all part of that too. And then when I really started to learn more, that just puts way too much on our body, on our digestive system, to be eating all day, all the time, right? It takes food a long time to digest. And what happens when you're in that digestive period, it's called the thermic effect of food, which means carbs, fats, and proteins have what's called a thermic effect, which means the amount of calories or the amount of energy it takes to digest it. Protein's the highest. So it takes your body longer to digest proteins, which means you're going to burn calories. But if you continue to add protein, too much energy, too much calories causes too much stress, and that's going to increase cortisol. And cortisol, as we know, we do need it sometimes when we have consistent cortisol going, because we keep feeding our body. Cortisol kills our T levels. Cortisol causes belly fat storage. Cortisol causes, health issues, chronic health issues, too much cortisol, too much stress, heart issues, high blood pressure, all of those things. So that old, thinking of, well, we got to eat all throughout the day does not work. Specifically as we get older, because our digestive system doesn't digest as fast and as effectively as it did when we were younger, right? Again, everything slows down for us, right? Everything slows down. That's why it's very important that our margin, we stay within the margins. So 3 meals a day is perfect, right? 3 meals a day, because it gives our body a chance to digest. It's all we really need, right? It's all we need, because within those meals, you're going to have 3 balanced plates, and we'll talk about that afterwards. But when you do this, you're going to make sure that you have the types of food on the plate that is going to fuel your metabolism, keep that going throughout the day, fuel your energy throughout the day, fuel your recovery, fuel your fat loss, fuel your hormones. And that's it. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or whether it's meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, just focus on getting 3 meals a day and starting that process. And again, it's like you want to lay the foundation. The foundation is 3 meals a day. Then you can play with it after 6 months or so. But you want to lay that foundation. Simple, 3 meals a day, or like I consider a smoothie as a meal. Smoothie being putting all of the same macronutrients that we're going to talk about in rule number 4 into that smoothie, right? Because some people, I like eating real food, right? Real whole foods, but I also work at home. So it's different for me. It's easy for me, but for other people who don't work at home, maybe a smoothie in the morning is a great way for you to start. So again, 3 meals a day. You don't need snacks. You do not need snacks, okay, at all. If you feel you need snacks, that means you're not eating enough of carbohydrates. Basically, is what it means. You got to eat more carbs. Your body needs more carbs, because that's the first thing that your body uses for energy, right? So again, 3 meals a day. That's the principle. Rule number 4: each meal should have a balanced plate. I don't even have the balanced plate anymore. It's somewhere in here. I used to draw this picture, but I don't know where it is. But here it is. Oh, geez, look at that. Balanced plate. Okay, so let's talk about that. This is a non-negotiable. This is should be number, as Biggie would say, this should have been number 1, 100% in the 10 nutrition commandments. This should have been number 1, but I have to premise it. So This is a non-negotiable. It's so crucial to everything: weight loss, fat loss, muscle growth, testosterone production, health, energy. It's the most crucial thing. Each meal or smoothie should have a source of starchy complex carb. Okay, starchy complex carb, because that is going to give you energy. It's going to feed your muscles, and of course your thyroid, which is the metabolism hormone. Thyroid's got other things, but for us, it's the metabolism hormone, the fat burning hormone, the energy hormone. You need that starchy complex carb. Don't even listen to what anyone else tells you. Remember, it's complex carb and it's a starchy complex carb. Don't listen to what anyone else tells you. Believe me. A healthy fat. We need a source of healthy fats, because healthy fats have good cholesterol. Good cholesterol is the precursor to testosterone production. You need cholesterol, good cholesterol, to start the process of testosterone production that happens in the morning. Every meal should have a high quality source of protein. Animal protein would be the best, but a high whey protein is the highest on the biological value. It's the high. You could look up biological value of protein and just take a look at that list. You can Google that list. You'll see what the highest quality of protein is. And then it will break it down. Eggs, like, whey, eggs, meats, etc. That's what you want to put into this Ferrari. Your body's a Ferrari or a Porsche or whatever your favorite, car is, whatever. It's high quality. So you only put high quality into high quality, period. That's it. High quality into high quality. And then you have the fourth that will finish up the balanced plate, or the smoothie, would be either vegetables or fruits, or both, depending on the meal. Easy. It's super easy. You just have to make sure it's the right foods. That's why we have that food list. You just take the foods that you like, and there you go. That's it. You just take that. I like this food. I like this. I like this. Let's plan it. Trying to make it super simple so that anyone can do it. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to weigh your foods. You just simply ensure that you're getting a source on each plate or each smoothie. Now, and I'm trying to keep this simple. Now, some of you may be saying, well, you just said you don't have to count calories, but Captain Leandrew is saying that sometimes we do have to count calories. Yes, of course. 6-7 months down the road, and you're getting to a point where, okay, this is how I've been eating, and I'm kind of coming to a standstill because I'm kind of eating the same. What's happening with my body? Well, sometimes you have to do what's called an audit. I mentioned that before, because as we get in shape, as we build more muscle, as we lose more fat, as we get into better shape, we need more calories. Our bodies need more calories. And what most of the time what happens is guys they're like, okay, I'm not getting any results, so I'm going to pull back on my nutrition. That is the worst thing you can do, because your body is going, hey man, you're like jacked now. You're exercising. You're moving around more. You're doing other things outside. I need more calories. And that's the audit that'll say, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I guess I do need. I'm not saying you need an extra meal. It's just you need more calories, the calorie dense foods, more carbs, right? Maybe a little bit more healthy fats on your plate. So that just gives you a check once in a while to do those audits using a tool like the Fit, whatever it is, the Fit thing that you guys use. I don't even know what's called. That's a Leandrew thing, but yeah, this will give you a kind of like a layout. And again, like I said, you don't have to hit it right on the dot. Okay, this is just like here's a plate. Specifically, if you're new, you literally just look at your plate, and every time you eat, you say, "Where's my?" That's why when I post nutrition, I ask you guys to post your meals, breaking down. Okay, here's my source of complex carbs. Here's my fat. Here's my protein, and here's my vegetables and fruits. Because it's about drilling in, right? And it's also about showing other guys who are coming in, this is kind of like an easier way to do it. Don't get caught up on the amounts, because we'll help you with that. If you're new, post in the Facebook group. These guys will help you. Hey, you need more carbs. Hey, you need more of this. You need more of that. So, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. That was number 4. Number 5 is your post-workout meal. Your post-workout meal for fat loss is crucial. So let's talk about that. I'm going to keep this short and to the point. Within 1.5 hours of your workout, we need to make sure that we're eating a meal. Okay. Now, sometimes it may go a little bit longer. Don't sweat it. But in general, in between right after your workout, an hour and a half, you need to eat specifically something that's higher in carbohydrates. Whether you want to lose weight or you want to build muscle, the carbs are the most important part of your post-workout meal, because after the type of workouts we do, which are more metabolic workouts, right, higher intensity, whether it's with resistance or not, our body is depleted of all the glycogen, right? All of the energy, the carbs, the glycogen, it's been training and now there's nothing in there. That's why we feel so tired, and in order to keep the metabolism going, we need to feed that. We need to replenish the glycogen along with everything else, so that just drinking a protein shake or a protein drink, which is just, oh yeah, Funk, after my workouts, I just have a protein drink. Okay. And then what do you eat? When do you eat? Oh, that is a meal. Well, no, it's not, because what's happening is right after that protein drink, and you don't eat anything for hours on end, your body is going to now look at you again, because remember, your body's very smart, and go, okay, wait a minute, you're not giving us carbs. Like, we're just literally depleted ourselves of all of our glycogen. So you're not even giving us what we need to kickstart that metabolism. So I'm just going to hang on to that fat. So that's why you see a lot of guys are skinny, but still have belly fat, right? I think they call that skinny fat, because they don't eat at the right times. Like, they think, okay, well, I just did a workout, so I can put some protein or whatever after workout supplement, so I'm cool. But the body's going to hold on to the fat, and it's going to eat up the protein and use it as energy, which you never want to do, because I just told you guys that protein is the building blocks of our muscles, our bones, and the metabolic processes. And also, we don't naturally protein, so we need the protein. We need that. We can't use it as a source of energy. So your body's holding on to fat, it's grabbing the protein, and you're not getting the nutrients that you would get, the micronutrients that you get from the vegetables and fruits. And of course, the fat is a given. So it's really, really, really important that after that workout, and you can even, add more carbs, knowing that your body is in prime position to take all of that in and deliver it to where it needs to go to keep your metabolism going. So you are continuing to burn, hours and hours, 24, 36 hours after, while your body's getting back to homeostasis, which is where it was before you started the workout. Very crucial, specifically for fat loss, not even a question. So the protein drink is just to start the recovery process. The protein drink and BCAAs is just to start, getting the protein synthesis happening, right? Getting the muscles that you just broke down, giving them some of the things they need right away to start to recover, to get stronger, and just all of the things that your muscles do after they've been broken down. But you still need to eat a meal. So I would still do the protein shake, because a protein shake, or protein with, when I say shake, I mean just with water. When I say smoothie, I mean it's all the foods. Shake, just with water. Smoothie, all the foods. So when you have a protein shake, which is protein and BCAAs, which is generally what I have. Sometimes I have my testosterone, Alpha Max testosterone. That's just to get me through the stretching, and then the shower, and then, maybe if you work out at a gym, that's going to get you back home. Like, that just starts, telling your body, all right, you know what? Funk's treating us okay, but we still got to see if he's going to eat. And that's when that post-workout meal is. So that's very crucial. That's number 5. Number 6, choose your go-to foods each week. Okay. So I'll repeat that again. Choose your go-to foods each week. This is a very good and important commandment or rule, because we want to we want to make sure there's the least amount of barriers when it comes to nutrition, because the more barriers we put in front of us, like we got to count calories, we got to weigh our foods, we can only eat this, we can only eat at this time, we can only do this. Oh, I'm scrambling to look at food. Like those are all barriers. So, oh, I got to go shopping, but I don't really know what I want to freaking buy. Those are barriers that we don't need. We can eliminate all those barriers by choosing our go-to foods at the beginning of the week, the end of the week, whenever you want to go, meaning you want to try to eat the same foods. You want to keep your nutrition simple, very simple. We don't have to we don't have to complicate it. We don't have to eat different meals every day. Like you see in all of these diet plans and stuff. That's why I don't have diet plans or specifically really, because they just have you eating different foods all the time. It's not realistic. It's not realistic, and it's expensive, specifically during these times, right? So we want to keep things very, very tight when it comes to choose our go-to foods, which means every week you go in and you choose your 3 to 4 go-to foods that you're going to have that week per macronutrient. So what are your go-to carbs this week? So for me this week, my go-to carbs are going to be sweet potato, cream of wheat, which is my morning, and I think that's it. I think maybe some rice. So those are the 3. That's it. That's all I'm going to eat this week when it comes to carbs. My go-to proteins is going to be chicken. I made a lot of chicken yesterday, and I think my butcher box is coming on Monday, so it'll be grass-fed beef. So those are 2 I'm going to have this week: grass-fed steak and good old-fashioned chicken, organic chicken. That's all I'm having this week. And my whey protein, of course. My go-to fats are always olive oil, grass-fed butter, and grass-fed butter, and avocado. That's it. I mean, that pretty much never changes. That's just a constant, because there's not many healthy fats out there. Like, you're not going to have a long list of healthy fats. Protein's the only one where you're going to have that really long list. Carbs, like quinoa and steel cut oats, cream of wheat, all the white rice, black rice, basmati rice, wild rice, sweet potato, yams, it's going to be a good list, a strong list, but not like protein, and definitely healthy fats are, few and far between. I just literally make sure I have olive oil on most of my stuff, and grass-fed butter. That's, and then avocado, of course. But last week I ran out of avocado, so it was a lot of grass-fed butter and olive oil. And so that's kind of, and then the fruits and vegetables, that kind of changes, because you can't really go out and buy fruit in the beginning of the week and then expect it to last throughout the entire week. Some you can, but you know what I mean? So it also, when you choose your go-to foods, it forces you to kind of plan out what you're going to be eating. And it's also great because you're in and out of the grocery store. In and out, or grocery stores, depending on where you go get your stuff. Or if you order, like me, most of the time from Instacart, which is a delivery service we have here in Toronto. I think you guys have in the States too. It's just and then an hour later, ding dong, go downstairs, pick up my bags, and go along my way. So yeah, that's it. Choose your go-to every single week. So that way it gives you much better way to food prep and grocery shopping. Speaking of food prep, commandment number 7, plan, prepare, and meal prep. Man, again, failing to plan is planning to fail. Meal prep is another essential. It should be number 2, in fact, because a lot of us, again, not me, because I work at home, but I still meal prep. I still, like yesterday, I have like 2 big tubs of chicken that I cooked, because I know I'm going to need that for the week. I have all my sweet potato all lined up, so I'm ready, because I make my sweet potato in the microwave because it's just quick for me. So meal prepping is for me is great, but for you guys who work outside of the home or who work shift work, so let's start with outside of the home. So you want to make sure you meal prep. You want to make sure that you have that lunch meal, right? So you're not eating at the food court, or you're not caught off guard. And so that means planning. Like, do you have a meeting on a Wednesday where you have to be in the car? Well, that meal is going to be maybe a little bit different from, the meal you're going to have on Tuesday, because you have the microwave at work, right? Like, all of those things, they don't take long, But the first time you're going to do it, it's going to be a little clunky, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. Now, if you're a shift worker, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to meal prep. Like there's nothing to get around it. There's no like, oh, what can I do? No, meal prep. Angela's the queen of meal prepping. She's on nights right now. Before she goes on nights for 7 days, she cooks everything. She puts everything in her Tupperware, and now she's got it down to about an hour and a half to cook for the whole week, what she needs, maybe even less. But, depending on what she's cooking. But, she has it down pat every single, Antoine, I think you're the king of that, right? Yeah, you're the king of meal prepping, man. Like you are the king of meal prep. Like I got to get you a freaking meal prep king, man. It is so important. Yes, I know at first it sucks, but after a while, and that's why I'll say, like, when you're meal prepping, put on something you like, put on music that you like, put on a podcast that you like, put on a movie that's light, something that's going to at least keep you feeling good while you're doing something that's a little tedious, right? Something that makes you have that good feeling. And I have a meal prep guide there that gives you just some tips on how to meal prep. Everyone's got their own way, but just some tips on how to cooking certain things, cooking all at the same time, cooking your rice while your chicken's inside, maybe going outside and barbecuing. Like you'll get to a point where it's just like, it actually becomes fun because you try to break records. Like I always got to that point, I want to try to break my record. Like ding, and then you put your music in your ears. Like get in, maybe it's an audio book, right? This speaking of audio book, if you want it, this is this month's book, How to Make Shit Happen by Sean Whalen. This is the book of the month. But my advice to you is get the Audible book of this. Because the book is great. It's easy. It's like it's not going to take long to read. It's a very short book. It's like my over 40 shred. It's made very like you can get it digested in a week. I mean, in a weekend. But the audio book, this guy talking, it's literally like, yeah, like it how to make shit happen, right? Like he tells you point blank, man. Like there's no effing around, which is why I really like this. I would listen to it twice because I was just like, man, this is great. Like the way he delivers, very like, we're not messing around here. You know what I mean? Like if this is what you need, then this is what you have to do, period. And it's true. It's true. So the audio book is really good. It's really, really good. But yeah, put something on that keeps you in a good state of mind, or you're learning, or else trying to learn. And then of course you're going to need Tupperware, whether it's, and again, don't like, if this is the first time you've been doing meal prepping, you don't have to like, again, I'm not trying to put all these barriers, like get whatever Tupperware you have. Okay. And then once you start to get good and comfortable, then you start moving to glass. Then you start, then you start upgrading, right? This is not about going from, it's not about perfection. It's about progression. So we still want to progress, but you don't have to start, with buying organic, or you don't have to start with buying the best Tupperware. Some people want to, of course, but others, like when we started with this, it was just whatever the freaking plastic we have now, we have glass because we want to get rid of as much plastic as possible because that's not really good for our hormones and our health, but that's another podcast or another coaching call. But the point is, get things that, bags, the Ziploc bags, different size Ziploc bags, get Tupperware, get things that will start to, as you purge your fridge, will start to replace the bad stuff that you purge with the good stuff that's going to keep you prepared for the week. So prepare, meal prep. There's nothing like being prepared specifically when it comes to nutrition. There's that's it. Number 8 is drinking a gallon of water a day. There it is. That's it. A gallon. I mean, when you first come in, I would even go more personally, I have an 18 liter, I guess you can't see this, but this 18 liter water jug usually lasts not even a week. And that's just me because we have another one downstairs. But that barely lasts a week. I'm always ordering water. Always. It's crazy. But you got to drink a lot of water. And everyone says that, and everyone always says, not everyone, but when someone's coming in and I ask them about drinking, how much water do you drink? They all say, I drink a pretty good amount of water. And then when I tell them you have to drink a gallon of water, which is pretty good, then it's like, what? When they really go through the first process of drinking that, even the 16 liter, the 32 liters in the morning, because if I only said 16, then you probably only drank 8 or 7. So I have to kind of like turn it up a bit, right? 32 is not bad, of course, but you just want to start the day off with water, and you want to continue throughout the day with water. So whether it's getting one of those big jugs, or like I used to always joke around by saying, I remember when, you see the guys at the gym, all the big bodybuilders at the gym, and they walk around with a big, huge milk jug of water, and you'd be like, look at this guy, what a loser. Meanwhile, look at his body. Look at what he's doing. The water is so important, right? So, yes, you're going to be going to the washroom all the time, as we've always said, but it will accelerate fat loss, and it will also keep you hydrated, because dehydration is not something you want to play with. And when I say water, I'm just talking water. I'm not talking about anything else but water. Okay, that's it. Yes, you can have lemon water in the morning. I wouldn't continue to drink lemon water all day, but just regular, not tap water, because that also has stuff in there that you really don't want to mess with, fluoride and all that stuff, that chemicals in water. Unless you live in, again, I shouldn't say that, because if you live in Iceland, then you can literally drink the water out of the rivers, because it's so pure. So depending on where you live, sometimes the water from the tap is actually very good. We live in North America, though, a little dicey. You just want to get, and like a water cooler they're not expensive, and they're not as tedious as people think when it comes to having that big water on the top. But the pure water that comes out of it is so good, or a water purifier. But again, remember, we're trying to put the highest quality stuff inside of our body. Yes, sometimes you have to use water bottles depending on where you are or what access you have, but also do not get played by all the hydrogenated water and all the O2 water. And I think there's some multi-level marketing thing out there about water. I believe someone tried to tell me that their friend made $1 million last month, and I wanted to know that if I wanted to be part of this. I get those too from my friends. Hey, Funk, my friend just made $1 million. Do you want me to hook you up with it? And I really thank you for all the help you've given me before. So I thought, I'd approach you with this. Well, what is it? Well, I have to sit down with you and actually talk to you about it so you understand it. Like that's when I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. Like if your friend, I'm not getting into it, but if your friend made $1 million, then why are you making $1 million? Don't come to me asking me. You make the million. Anyways, yeah, just plain old good, high quality water. That's it. All right. Number 8 is the post workout protein shake that I talked about. That's important specifically for us, because we want, one of the things that we suffer again from is sarcopenia, natural loss of muscle due to aging. It continues to happen. So that's why it's important for us. Yeah, we start off with some body weight stuff, but resistance training is going to be very key, because we have to continue to build muscle as we get older, all the way till the end. Okay, this is something that's happening till the end, period. So don't think that you're going to we got to do this forever, but we also have to feed our muscles what they need, which is a post protein shake or BCAAs, either one. Both obviously you want both, but BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, and protein are both great. And when I say shake, all I mean is in water. Drink, maybe it's protein drink, right? Do not go out and buy actually pre-packaged or processed drinks, because once again, they are filled with things that we don't want, sugars and hidden preservatives and all of those things. You just water, scoop of protein, scoop of BCAA, scoop of whatever else, creatine, or maybe there's other, powders that you want to put in there. Shake it up, drink it, and then, that starts that recovery process. Because again, our body's, protein is going to feed our muscles, going to feed the recovery, and you want to make sure it's high quality protein and a really good solid BCAA. And that's a game changer. And again, that doesn't count as a meal because it's just protein. It's just getting that into our body. So that's number 9. Number 10 is for the first month. So if you're just listening to this now and you're just starting a program, I think I mentioned this before, but the first month you don't want to have cheat meals and you want to get rid of alcohol if you do drink any alcohol. You want to just eliminate for 1 month. Just start with 1 month and no cheat meals or cheat days for 1 month. Because like I said before, the goal for the first month of any program is detoxifying your body with all of the unhealthy foods, the behaviors, the things that have been damaging your body, damaging your system, damaging your weight loss, damaging your hormones. You want to stay totally away from that and give your body a month to get into good, clean food. But I guarantee you're going to feel much, much better after that first month. And, you're going to feel much, much better. So yeah, that's, and then you can start adding, I call them guilt-free meals, because you're going to strategically set up a guilt-free meal, not a day, that you need. We all do need these. So, you don't have to not do them. You do need them because it resets our metabolism. It, at least gives us some sanity. You're not, you can still eat if you need to, but when you plan them out, you don't feel guilty, right? You plan out, okay, I'm going to take my wife out to the restaurant. That's going to be a guilt-free. So depending on what I eat, doesn't matter, or what I have, it doesn't matter. I don't feel guilty because I planned it. You have one in your back pocket in case something happens at work or something comes up. Maybe every third Sunday. Football season's out, so maybe every third Sunday or second Sunday, or maybe all 4 Sundays, you use that as a one of your games. You're just gonna eat whatever. Plan them out, because you can also plan the strategic thing you're gonna do afterwards. So those are the 10 tips. Number 1, stay away from fad diets, right? Stay away from those diets that you think you hear on, carnivore, like all of these diets. Stay away from those. Learn about them, but they're not going to work for us, not sustainably. And you don't want to be bouncing from diet to diet, because that just freaks up your body. That just messes up your body. Remember, your body's smart. It wants consistency, right? It wants consistency. Number 2, purge the cupboards. Purge everything out of your cupboards that you can, that, all the BS. And you guys know what all of that is. There's no like, oh, well, I've got this healthy cereal. Well, no, there's no healthy cereal. So get rid of it. Like, there's no healthy cereal, man. Come on. It's for kids, like with sugar to get them hooked. So like just real whole foods to start. Number 3, eat 3 meals a day. Right, start to get your body used to the 3 meals a day, whether it's meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you call it. Just make sure you get those 3 meals in. Number 4, each meal must have a balanced plate. Should have been number 1, but healthy, complex, starchy carb, high fat, healthy fat, high quality protein, and vegetables and fruits. Yes, I know vegetables and fruits and carbohydrates are all carbs, but I break them up because they are different. The type of nutrients you're going to get from vegetables and fruits, antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals are going to be different. And they're going to be doing something different to your body than the complex starchy carb, which is going to give us energy, which is going to feed our thyroid for metabolism, build muscle, our testosterone, all of those things, right? And it is the micronutrients in the foods that we eat. I know I'm going on a little bit tangent, but it's not actually the macros, because if you go back to number 1, where it's about dieting, a lot of those diets are about macros, either eliminating a macro, which is a macro is a fat, protein, or vegetable. No, sorry. Oh my God. Fat, protein, or carb. So those are usually like you're eliminating something, right? You can't have this macro, or you can only eat this macro if your macros fit, or whatever it is. And they don't even address the micronutrients. Like, what does what does uh what does what does potatoes have? Well, they have boron. Boron is good for our testosterone. Okay, what does greens have? Like spinach. Oh, that has magnesium. Magnesium, like they don't. It doesn't even talk about the what the micronutrients are doing, because all of those micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals that we're eating from the foods, are actually what is keeping us healthy, giving us all of the energy that we need, all of the for our hormones, whether it's decreasing estrogen or whether it's increasing our testosterone, or keeping cortisol down. Like, all of those things comes from the micronutrients, what's in the actual food that they're eating. It's not just above ground. So when then that's a missing piece. When you can speak to somebody or a nutritionist or dietitian that actually talks about the micronutrients, then you're talking to the right person. Then you got the right person. If they're just going, oh yeah, you need this and that, and oh no, we don't eat this food, we don't eat this type of macro, and we don't. That's where it's like, okay, well, this is it's very basic. It's very basic. You got to eat. It's what's in the foods, and that's why we eliminate a lot of foods like soy and the processed foods, because it's what's inside of those foods that are actually damaging our body. Right, the vegetable oils, all of that stuff. So think about that too. And when you're eating, it's a micronutrients. Number 5, post-workout meal is crucial, right? That post-workout meal, don't skip it. Don't think a protein drink is going to be your post-workout meal. And don't be afraid to have more carbs for your post-workout meal, because your body is primed to digest those carbs, right? If you even want to have a Gatorade or something, like if ever you're going to have something like that, like a Gatorade or a sports drink or whatever it is, it's the post-workout meal. Like that would be the only time, because your body is primed to digest that and not store it. It's because it needs all it can get. Like, I'm not saying go get ice cream and because it is what's inside of the foods. Number 6, choose your go-to foods each week. Get that behavior, get that habit going, right? What are my go-to foods this week? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, great. I feel a little bit better because I have a little bit of a plan. Now let's go out and get that and have it so that I know what I'm going to be cooking. Number 7, plan, prepare, and meal prep, right? So once you have your go-to foods, go get it. You're planning it. You're going to go get it. You're going to prepare and meal prep for the week. Now, meal prep doesn't mean you have to prepare every single meal. I don't do that. Angela does. I don't. I just put all my proteins in one big huge bucket. One big huge storage, and then I put, if we cook some rice, then it's in the pot. Like, I do it that way, and then when my meal comes, I just right, and just kind of like pick and choose. Which reminds me, Josie did say something that was very, very interesting, and that I am going to address. Joe did say, hey man, why don't you show us exactly how you make your meals, because you take pictures of them all the time, but we don't even know how you make them. So yes, Joe, I will do that once Angela's off. But listen, I'm going to tell you, it isn't going to be something magical. It isn't going to be some amazing, Food Network. It's literally, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So you're going to see me picking from here, putting it on here. Okay. So don't expect right, Funk's going to have this great show. It'll be a show for sure, but probably not what you're expecting. But I do think it would be good so that you can see exactly how I make my meals. And, I have little hacks for myself, because I try to do things efficiently, because even though I work from home, I don't have a lot of time. So that's why I use Instacart. That's why I just don't want to, that's just my little mind here going, waste my time going there. That's an hour that I could actually be focusing on this. Right. That's just this. But so what I do is I actually have these little hacks that I do to make different foods. And so, yeah, that definitely works. So yes, we will be doing that for sure. Actually, Angela agreed with it on that one too. So we got you, Josie, and everyone else. We got you. Drink a gallon of water. Have these. Always have a couple. If you have to get one of those water jugs, or the 1 gallon jug, fill it up every morning with A good water cooler. Go get a water cooler too, guys. Get it. Invest in it, man. I'm telling you, it doesn't take up much room. And the water is so good, specifically if you live in a country or a province or wherever you live, that the water is not that great. You don't want to be drinking water out of a water bottle for so long, like plastic bottles. I mean, I used to be the king of that. You guys, for the old OGs, you guys used to know. I would show you all the plastic bottles and the freaking garbage. That's when I was like, okay, this has got to stop. I gotta invest in a water cooler. And now we have 2 water coolers, and they're so good. They're so good. Again, always trying to, like, even myself, I'm just always trying to, when I see that, I gotta stop doing this. Got to move into the next. We're always trying to get better, right? Always. Drinking that post-workout drink, protein drink, right? Protein, BCAAs. For me, like I said, I have my Alpha Max test. Testosterone, I like it after, but again, there's no right or wrong. I just like it after. I put them all into the one water, shake it up, and I just down it. And I just feel like I get, like yesterday after doing this. After hooking Craig Morfitt up with his 63 burpees, I was dead. Like literally, I wish I could have. I should have kept the camera on so you guys heard me crying and complaining and dying. Like literally, I was like, because I'm the only one in the gym, so no one can hear me. I will next time let that go. It hurt. I'm not lying to you, man. That hurt. It took me 6 minutes and it hurt. My lungs felt like they were gonna blow out of my chest because I haven't been doing burpees. Like, so that's, again, it sucks, but you got to keep doing it to get better. But once I drank my post workout, I was like, all right, I'm good. But I will definitely, I'll definitely leave it on one of these days after one of my workouts so you can hear. Well, I mean, you guys hear it all the time when I'm doing the workouts. I'm always dying there anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yesterday was super funny. And number 10, again, if it's your first 30 days, or if it just seems like you're not getting the results, or you're maybe there's a little bit of fight. Summer just ended, right? So a lot of people just enjoy their summer. Barbecues, beers, drinks, family, friends, whatever. Cheat meals, whatever. But if you want to kind of do a reset, or you're just beginning the program, 30 days, no alcohol, no guilt-free meals, and just really purging yourself of just detoxifying of the unhealthy stuff, and then just kind of resetting that body. And that's it. I mean, the bonus is eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, but that comes with, like a lot of greens and that sort of thing, like getting a lot of greens in, because I mentioned before, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, a lot of stuff. You can't eat enough, I think. I mean, I don't think you can eat enough. I mean, someone a couple of years ago, when I posted something about me eating spinach with all of my meals, I was eating spinach. Someone said something about, oh, isn't that unhealthy? And I didn't even respond, because it didn't deserve a response. When someone asks you if eating vegetables, a specific amount of vegetables unhealthy, is like, well, it's healthier than eating everything else that's out there, all the other stuff. But I don't know anyone who's been unhealthy just eating spinach, or eating spinach daily. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look. I get a lot of research. I've never had a research that told me someone who ate a lot of fruit, or people ask me that too. Oh, is too much fruit too bad? No, too much fruit isn't too bad. There's certain times you want to eat it, but when you're exactly Popeye, when you're feeding your body with good, healthy nutrients, like the fact that when someone asks a question like that, it's like, that makes no sense. Does that make sense to you? Like, does it make sense to you? Well, I heard it somewhere. Where did you hear it? Well, I don't know. Something. Well, all right. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit out of my. I'm sure you guys get that a lot. Probably some of you guys get that. People just say, my buddy told me this, my buddy told me that. I heard this. I think I heard that. As soon as that happens, when they can't pinpoint. I was listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she said having a probiotic every day will help with testosterone. She actually cited a study. Like, unless they can come out with that, then I'm not listening. Specifically, if it's just someone who's not very healthy or someone who's just, you know what I'm saying. Those are the ones that kind of you're like, I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys got some stuff out of that. I hope you guys I know that for some of you guys this is just repetitive, but there's a lot of newer people coming in, and as far as I'm concerned, you can still get certain nuggets from these things, and certain, reminders of things that, oh yeah, maybe I'm not drinking enough water, or oh, I didn't actually realize that I could eat a little more carbs after my workout. Okay, cool. Like there's just little things and nuggets that you may get that, that hopefully you guys can use. And but these are the 10, the scroll that would I would read from. So in the future, next week I'll be doing the 10 commandments of workouts. So giving you what not to do, giving you what to do, and just giving you some other little tips as well to get the most out of your training. There'll be stuff on mindset, sleep. We did do recovery last week, but I have a whole bunch. So if there's any other ones you want me to do, by all means, I'm in. Abs, maybe 10 commandments of developing abs. I can go forever with this stuff. So we're good. All right, guys. So eat all spinach you want, but should be organic. Yes, it should be organic. But again, I'm just going through what's here, what's in the chat. Listen, I'm going to talk a little bit about organic and non-organic. And so when you're first coming in, like I said, barriers, man, like just eat healthy. Doesn't need to be organic or the highest quality. At first, if that's going to be a barrier, like if that's going to cause to be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or where am I going to get this, or grass-fed beef, then we should just pretty much just get meat, get, vegetables. But then as you continue, you will see that like you want to increase the quality of your foods. You want grass-fed beef. You want organic chicken. You want organic fruits and vegetables. I mean, whenever I order from Instacart, sometimes I'll get one organic and one non-organic, depending on what was at the grocery store. And the difference, but the organic fruits and vegetables last much longer. They always last longer. The non ones that are sprayed with stuff, they go bad like within a day. But my organic ones always last much longer. So, and obviously the quality is going to be better. You just want to, like I say, you're always trying to upgrade it. You don't have to start there, but you definitely want to try to get there for sure. Should you do protein shakes every day, even on recovery? Yeah, well, I mean, that's a great question, Rick. Yes, you can. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant, because I eat. All right. So every morning, one of my meals is my not steel cuttles, my cream of wheat. So I have cream of wheat. I have cashews, berries, banana, and then I have a scoop of my whey protein. So it's not a protein shake, but I have a scoop every single day. I have a scoop of whey protein that in my breakfast. But then after my workout, I only work out 4 days a week. So after my workouts, I'll have it too. So I'm not sure if that's what you mean. Like, would you have it on an off workout day? Sure, you can 100%, because it's just adding more protein, high quality protein. But do you need to? No, you don't need to. You because you're just it's your recovery day. You're having it with food. You don't generally need to have it. The only reason why I would have a protein shake on an off day would be maybe because I was having like a little bit of a sweet tooth, which doesn't happen, but that would be the only reason why I may want, I have a little bit of sweet tooth. Maybe I'll have some protein, just to curb it. But I mean, I hope that answers your question. You don't need to have it, but in essence, I do, because I do have a scoop of whey protein every single morning with my breakfast every single morning. So that's it. So I'm not sure if that works. Anyways, I'm out. Have a great day, guys. Great seeing you. Is today the first day of football? I know I can't even believe I'm asking this question because I'm like as like old NFL Joe Cribbs, Tony Ferguson guy. I can't even believe I asked that question, but okay, I'll go watch some football. All right, guys, much love. See you guys.